Hi there, it's John from Commercial Real Estate Online. Welcome to the program. This is another video where I share my ideas, my strategies in commercial real estate with brokers and agents around the world. Indeed, the audience is large, so welcome. Make sure you subscribe whilst you're here because you can always pick up on ideas that can help you improve your sales, leasing activity and property management, albeit that property management's a bit different. So, in today's program, I'm going to share some notes with you about presentation and sales pitch tips when it comes to winning listings. And of course, you'll be chasing listings in sales or leasing. It doesn't matter. The ideas here will actually help you understand how you can be better than the competitors when it comes to pitching for the listing. Now, I'm going to take you through my notes. I'm going to stop a few times and talk to you about the point so that I can really focus that point for you and give you the leverage, the action to take around that particular point. So enjoy these ideas and of course take steps forward, because the commercial real estate market at any time is full of opportunity for the agents to get active, focus and take ongoing, consistent, compounding action. So this is the program. Let's have a look at these ideas. So the whole thing here is about presentation and sales pitch tips. And when you work in commercial real estate sales and leasing, you will present and pitch for business every day in some way or form. And of course, you would like to be meeting with many clients and prospects every day. That's what we do. I do actually recommend that you split your day into a 50-50 ratio, given that without doing that, the day will just get away from you. You'll have so many things to do that you'll lose focus. So my strategy is take your day, accept that some of your day you can't control. You've just got to do what's required. But 50% of your day you can drill down on and work with. So what's the formula there? What does it mean? It says that the first 50% of your day is focused on a prospecting related item and activity. 50% of your day, that's sort of 8 o'clock in the morning to 12 o'clock, 12 noon, prospecting. Usually the telephone, that's a good way to do it. Then in the afternoon, you're left with another 50% where you can just do the stuff that has to be done and won't go away. And that can be meetings, it can be negotiations, it can be marketing activities, that sort of thing. And when I say that, you can actually take that 50-50 and swap it around. If you've got to do certain things in the morning, move your prospecting to the afternoon. It doesn't matter, but it works. So what can you do? It pays for you to develop a presentational system that focuses entirely on the client and their property. In this way, you can convert more business and keep the competitors away from your market share. Now, you should expect that every property presentation will be competitive. There are plenty of agents out there who are looking to win your business, win your client. And those agents will try to come up with all the ideas to win the business. Maybe discounts, maybe a lower commission. But discounts and lower commission doesn't matter, in my view, if you tell the right story about commercial real estate. Ultimately, the client wants an end result which is positive and timely. So forget about discounting your commissions. Forget about doing free marketing. Focus on being different and better than the other competitors out there. So it's all about getting some presentational alignment. And I like to think of it as a jet-powered process. Your presentational sales pitch can have all the elements of a plane on the runway, getting ready to move ahead. So here are some good words that come to mind. Think about these things in your listing pitch. Planning, the power of ideas, direction, recommendations, implementation strategies, commitment, and flying higher to get a better result, maybe a better dollar value, maybe a better price. So what would happen if you were on a plane on the runway and the thrust of the engines started? Soon you are powering down the tarmac and preparing to lift into the sky. Suddenly the pilot decides that they want to shut down the engines. The whole thing could be a complete disaster. So, in real estate, you are the pilot. You make the decisions. You prepare to take off. You prepare to take off with the listing. You have the ideas. You have the strategies. You've got to be better than the competition. Now, sure, experience helps a lot of us, particularly in my case. I've been in the industry a long time. What I will say in a listing presentation is a lot stronger, more strategic, based on recommendations, based on experience, more so than an agent that hasn't been in the market very long at all. So I'm trying to encourage you to think that way now and to go down that path. So you are the pilot to take the client's property to the sky and out into the world. That's a marketing thing. The pilot knows where they're heading. They have the plans, the fuel to make it happen. You've got the fuel, you've got the plans. Are your plans better than your competition? That is your marketing plan. I'm a great believer of having 3 marketing plans. Now, for the moment, I'll call them gold, silver, and bronze. But there's a reason there. Because when you're structuring 3 marketing plans and timelines, which I'll talk about later, when you give the timeline, it's a visual thing. We give the budgets in marketing, it's a visual thing. And then all you've got to do is put yourself into the equation with recommendations. That's how you win a listing. Now, the gold, silver, and bronze campaigns, you shouldn't call them that to the client. Call them A, B, and C if you like. But gold is the best and most expensive package. Silver is the middle range, perhaps not quite as expensive. And C is the El Cheapo package, the bronze package. Now, invariably, the client will always choose the one in the middle. So they can save some money and yet do the right things, the good things, to sell their property. So in commercial real estate, you are in the pilot seat. You are in charge of the journey. So get ready to fly high. That says, start well, finish well. It's all about strategy and what you say. Some agents and salespeople start the marketing and the sales presentation well, but do not finish well. How do you finish on a sales presentation? With solid recommendations, putting yourself into the equation so the client can't ignore what you're saying. You are saying things better, more strategically so, with a timeline, with recommendations than any other agent that's been talking to them. So the idea here is I'm encouraging you to be better than your competition. So those agents that don't do very well, they do not create the journey for the client. The client cannot see where they are going and are at the point of the pilot's mercy. Now, does your presentational process have all the elements listed above? Will the client see where the journey will take them? Do they want to travel with you? So, to travel with you, they have to believe in you. Why would they believe in you? Because your recommendations are better than the other agents that are out there. You've made solid recommendations that are not generic. Generic presentations are a total waste of time. Always be better than the competition. Think more, do more, show more. The listing presentation is very visual. I'd encourage you to use visual tools. And again, I'll discuss that in other programs, but today this will give you some good ideas to do that anyway. So it's all about being a solution-based presentation. That's what your listing presentation is, to solve the problem. Top presentations are made on 3 main facts and solutions. When it comes to commercial property sales and leasing, it is relatively easy if you know your market well and can talk about the strategies relevant to solving problems for the client. So you are solving problems in real estate. Maybe the client has to make a sale. Maybe the client has to make a lease. Maybe they have to buy. You are solving the problem. So the depth of your questions will get to the real issue for that particular client. When you've got it, you'll know what to say and how to say it and how to work with that. So I want to give you 3 ideas, some ideas to help you with your pitch or your presentation. 3 ideas. Number 1 is engage the client from the start with good questions and relative comments. Relevant comments about the market, the property. Go deeper. Don't talk generically. I've said it before. Seek to understand them before you talk about your solutions. By them, I mean the client. Understand their focus, their timelines, their requirements, and go deeply into that. The client will always discuss their property or requirements if you allow them to do so. Ask the questions. In their responses, you will get some ideas of the pressure and the requirements they seek as important. So what's important with them? Maybe it's a sum of money. Maybe it's a timeliness issue. Sometimes it's both. So you can work with that. So that can then align you to the property and the clients more closely. Alignment. Let's go to item number 2. Talk about the property as you see it and positively explain your observations. Use a rolling photo slideshow of the property on a laptop or a tablet to engage the client in their property. Now, I do that a lot. When I'm pitching for a property presentation, I'll go to the property well beforehand, 2 or 3 days beforehand. I'll create 20 or 30 photos of the property, the precinct, the surrounds, the competition. Simple photos taken on my mobile phone. I'll then lift those photos into, in my case, I use Google Photos and I create an album for that particular property. Then when I'm sitting with the client, I simply switch on the laptop or the tablet and I run the photos as a slideshow. So they immediately tick over. Now, because it's the client's property, they observe, they listen, they see their property. They're seeing their property through the camera lens. No longer is it just an asset that has to be sold or leased. Now they're seeing the location, the presentational issues, the vacancies, maybe the income stream tenants, that sort of thing. So use those photos in the way that I've explained. So this is an excellent tool for connection. Make recommendations as you talk with the clients about their property using the photos. Show them the way to get a quick resolution. Now, some of those photos will be focusing on the strengths of the property, others on the weaknesses of the property. So that when the photo scrolls to the next, let's say, point about the property you want to talk to, you can stop the rolling photos and just say, Mr. Client, let's have a look at this. I took this photo because I was walking through the property and I could see that this particular corner of the property, which does have old fit out, will detract from the presentation. The fit out should actually be removed. So the floor can be opened up rather than be cluttered with old fit out, which is detracting from the presentation. There's the photo, Mr. Client. Have a look at it. See what you think. I'm all about getting the best price I can for this particular floor and property, the best price, but I've got everything to align. Everything's got to be doing the right thing for you, Mr. Client, and that's why I make this recommendation today. Sure, there's a bit of money required to remove this fit out, but it's well worth the aspect of having a clear floor, a tidy presentation, nice bright light streaming into the vacancy, that sort of thing. So let's go to the third point. Tie the subject property to the local market by explaining the current levels of inquiry and where the competing properties are located. Provide a clear strategy to move ahead and a timeline. Right. Timeline. It's a real big issue and you can win a lot of listings with this. I do it all the time. When I'm pitching for a property listing, whether it's on market or off market, I'll produce a timeline on a visual calendar. Usually what I do is I go to Microsoft Word and I get one of their visual calendars, which is a month, for example. Could be the month of January or January, February, March, whatever. And then I'll go to the actual days within the calendar page. So a calendar page is for the month and there'll be a certain number of days in January, of course, 30 or 31, whatever it is. And then in each block, I'll put the strategy for the day. Now, we might be on the 5th of January, for example. So I could have in that block presentation strategies given and recommendations taken. On the day after, it might be listing accepted. On the day after, it might be marketing strategies, drafts produced of advertising. So you can see that over a period of, say, 7 to 10 days at the start of the campaign, I'm doing particular things. But this calendar allows me to show the client exactly what I'm thinking and why I'm going to do these things. So I'm just not marketing the property. I'm actually going to produce some very specific target audience advertisements. And while I mention the word target audience, that's also another part of my presentation strategy. I actually define the target audience very solidly in my presentation at the beginning so the client knows that I know exactly where this property has to go. I've got it. I'm thinking about it. I've got the strategies to get there. Now, the target audience might be, let's say, medical and allied health, because the property needs to be occupied by those businesses. So I've defined the target audience. My next strategy is to explain how I'm going to tap into that. You get the idea? I hope you do. So let's go further. Explain how you can make the client's property stand out above or in better ways than the other listings locally. Show the client what works best in their situation and give unique special comments to the property and how they can be marketed. The special solutions. Your solutions have to be better than the other agents out there. So don't just say you're going to advertise it online and advertise it in the papers. That doesn't cut it. Say things like this. Mr. Client, we're going to get a special signboard created for this property. That signboard will be structured in this particular way, saying the following things. That signboard will go up immediately we start marketing the property. The day after that, I'll take a flyer around to all the businesses locally about your property. The signboard will already be there. At the same time, we'll then initiate the advertisements online and get ready for the advertisements in the newspapers. But the online is really important. So what I've done, Mr. Client, here is I've drafted target framed advertisements, taking into account the target audience, which happens to be medical and allied health related. Have a look at these three styles of advertisements using the white space principle. Now, what you've done there is you've made the client understand that you've spent a lot more time on doing what they're needing to be done. That's the point of difference. That's what I do in presentations. I'm encouraging you to think the same way. So, don't use the same generic facts most agents use in discussing marketing campaigns and advertising. Always go deeper and be more relevant. So, to help you, and I do thank you for listening to the program, there is a copy of this particular article at the website. There is the URL, and the article is called Commercial Real Estate Agent Presentation and Sales Pitch Tips and Ideas. You can go to that particular article. There it is there. Go there and print it off, and then keep it for reference. Of course, I've explained a lot of things here for you to help you with your real estate activities, and most particularly winning more listings. In my particular case, with my experience over the years, which is over 30 years, I say things and do things in a presentation which are superior to other ordinary agents. That's why I wanted to share this with you now, to give you some ideas about being superior, focused, and heading down the track of improvement. Because you can always be better than the competition out there. In your town or location, your city, there's always agents out there chasing that client for that property listing. When you think this way, when you do these things, you can win the business. Enjoy the ideas, and I'll catch you in the next video. Oh, by the way, don't forget to subscribe, of course, because these videos are very helpful to you in your real estate business. I hope you enjoyed the notes. Get a copy of them at the website. Catch you soon.